Hello everyone, Abel in Vegas here. The baseball card market has been on fire, you could say, over the last few weeks, over the last few months. And so I was going through my collection organizing, so I thought I'd do a quick video kind of talking about the 5 biggest value jumps in my collection for cards that I have purchased, because some of them seem to be a little substantial. So I thought I'd share that with you guys and see what you guys thought. The first one, I do have 6. This card barely made it out of my top 5, but I did want to share it with you guys because I think this is a card that you probably should consider maybe thinking about adding to your collection. So this card, I remember I purchased this card back on May of 2019, and I can't remember exactly. I know for right before then, when the season started, these cards were going as high as $150, but then I think he got hurt and the price dropped, and when I started seeing them go for as low as like $75, I decided to buy one. And I bought mine on 5/23, and I ended up getting it for $82.50. Now, some statistics about this card. According to the PSA Pop report, there is 515 of these cards that have been graded, of which 474 have gotten a PSA 10, and only 38 have gotten a PSA 9. So these cards are pretty available in PSA 10 form. But here's the tricky part. Compared to the base cards, there has been a total of 6,945 base cards totally graded. So that means that there's 13 base cards available for every pink that has been graded. And I remember Filmington talking about this card being one of the short prints. So I know for update, the refractors and parallels are numbered. This one is not, but I remember him talking about the print run being around 1,000 copies. So most recent sale prices for this card have it around the $300 mark. So I would I think with the trajectory of his career, I think this card has a possibility to continue to grow. So that's one that I want to talk about. So now let's get into my top 5. The first one, which is number 5, is this Derek Jeter Gold. Now, fun fact about this card, I actually bought this when I thought about doing the PSA registry. This was one of the first cards that I was looking into, and I was looking at prices. I remember searching eBay and 4 Shop Corners, and then I came across this PSA 9 on ComC. So I bought this card on January 13 of 2019, and I spent $42.30. Now, the Jeter Golds, there's a total of 5,640 that have been graded, of which 373 have been 10s and 2,800 are PSA 9s. So recent sales of this card are averaging about $176. So for me, that is a 317% gain on the purchase of this card. So that's a pretty good investment for my part so far. Next up, I want to talk about LeBron James. This is a 2003 Bazooka. There is a total of 226 of these cards that have been graded, of which 190 are PSA 10s and only 32 PSA 9s exist. So I bought this card on July 13, 2019, and I got this for $35. Now, I will say that actually the selling price of this card was $70, but I used $30 in eBay bucks, so my price was only $35. Most recent sales of these cards have them averaging about $192. So far my gain on this card has been 450%. I think it's a cool card. So, of course, LeBron James stuff has been going up. And we'll continue with LeBron. So this is the 2003 Topps Rookie of LeBron James. Of this card, there's been a total of 4,866 that have been graded by PSA, of which 1,640 have received PSA 10s, and 1,997 are PSA 9s. This card I purchased at the National, and I actually was able to get this card from Elite Co. So shout out to him. Make sure you're following his channel. He has a great channel. And he sold this to me for $100. Now, recent sale prices, and so that was at the National. So recent sale prices of this card have them averaging around $750. One did sell on April 27 for $927. So far my gain on this card has been $650. I mean 650%, which it is $650. So that's pretty cool. Coming in number 2 is a Luka that I purchased. Now this one I actually purchased raw and had to send it into grading, and it came back a PSA 10. So only this numbered, if you look at the back, actually is serial numbered to 175. So far PSA has only seen 21 of these, of which they've 12 of them have received a PSA 10 and 9 of them have received the PSA 9. So I bought the raw card on April 26th of 2019. And then I got it graded and it came back at 10. So recent sales have this averaging around $711. So that is a 994% gain on what I paid for this card. So that's why it's at number 2. Pretty nice card. I like it. Lastly, we have the Ronald Acuna. So this card I purchased back on June 13 of 2019. So it actually was right before the National that I went to last year. So I was able to include this in my grading submission at the National. So I bought this card for $136. And with shipping, it came out to $140. So the seller that I got this from was Brent and Becca, and I remember he had it listed, I think it was for around $155. So I like buying from Brent, and so I thought I'd give him an offer to see if I could get this card shipped for $140, and he accepted. And then after I got the card, I started looking and going back to the recent sales, and I noticed that these were selling for $125. So I was like, oh man, I overpaid for this card by a couple bucks. But I bought from Brent before. He's a great seller. I've always trusted him, so he earns my business. So this card, now I did look up the different pop reports, and SGC does not show that they have any in their pop report. So they may have graded some, but in their legacy report system, I did not find any. BGS has graded a total of 624, of which 3 have received the black label, 48 have received the pristine 10, 366 are Jet Mint 9.5s, and 151 cards have gotten the Mint 9. PSA has seen 812 of these, where 326 have received the PSA 10 and 354 have received a PSA 9. So far between both BGS and Beckett, they've seen about 1,400 of these Acuna Bet Down cards. Now recent sales, so my all-in price on this card was $160 because I paid $20 to get it graded. So current selling prices for these cards have them around the $2,000 mark. So that's a total of 1,154% gain on value on this card. I even at one point thought about selling it because I thought it couldn't go up any higher, but I did not. So I'm glad I kept it. And I think as long as he continues on his trajectory of his career, I think that this card definitely has room to grow as well. So this, for me, if I needed to buy another one, even though they're pretty expensive, this is one of the cards that I would consider buying more of if I had the funds. So there you go. Those were my top 5 cards. Thank you so much for watching. Some of my cards are available for purchase on Check Out My Cards. Follow my collecting adventure on Instagram and Twitter. Links are available in the description below. Support my YouTube journey by clicking on the subscribe button and turning on the notifications. Catch you on the next one.